Okay, welcome back to my 32 and 32. I'm now going to be covering the St. Louis Blues. And like I do with all the videos, I like to display their home jersey and the reverse retro. This one here, it's okay. Again, I don't like to rank jerseys at all. This is just, it's okay. You have obviously the yellow and then the old St. Louis Blues logo. But other than that, again, can't hate it, don't really love it, on the fence more or less. If you take a look at the reverse retro from 2021, that's interesting because that's obviously their older logo from the, I want to say, 90s. And then obviously they changed the blue to the red. So that's interesting. I'm a fan of that one. And then the reason I say that is because if you take a look at their retro, that's what the jersey used to look like. So maybe if they had done something else with that, I don't know. I know there's only so many things you can do with jerseys when it comes to reverse retros, but like that one there, I'm a big fan of because, like I said, it's a throwback to the '90s era when the Blues had that logo and those colors on there as well. So I don't know. Again, this one here, I'm on the fence. It's okay, but it's nothing really to write home about. So I'll take a look and see. Actually, first, before I go through any of the signings, I will take a look at their record from just a season ago. So they finished with 37 wins, 38 losses, and 7 overtime/shootout losses for 81 points, missing the playoffs for the first time since 2018. And obviously, during those 4 years that they did make it in 2019, they obviously went all the way to the Stanley Cup final. 2020, they lost in the first round. 2021, they lost in the first round. 2022, lost in the second round. And obviously, they missed it this past season. So they haven't had too much success since their 2019 run. But that was many, many moons ago. So we'll take a look and see if they have any notable signings. Oscar Sundqvist, I guess, is coming back to the Blues organization. And we'll take a look and see where he played just a season ago. With the Minnesota Wild, right. So he split time between the Detroit Red Wings and the Minnesota Wild, and now he has returned to the St. Louis Blues organization, where he was obviously a member of the team back in 2019. So now I've got to scroll down and take a look for any other key signings. Something tells me they probably just had more re-signings than anything. Where are we? Getting there, just bear with me. Okay, yeah, so it's just been pretty much a re-signing. So I'll take a look at their roster like I do with all the teams and see who has re-signed, who has yet to sign, who has potentially gone elsewhere. So I'll start with the goaltending situation. Just gonna make sure this is somewhat visible. Okay, so Jordan Binnington, the starting goaltending, still has 4 years left to go on his contract. And Thomas Greiss, who came over from Detroit last offseason, has called it a quits. He is now retired from the NHL. Sammy Blaze, his contract did expire this past season, but he has signed an extension for 1 year at $1 million. Robert Bortozzo still has 1 more year left to go on his contract. Logan Brown has been signed by the Tampa Bay Lightning. Pavel Buchnevich has 2 more years left to go on his contract. Justin Falk still has 4 more years left to go on his deal. Kasperi Kapanen is coming into the last year of his contract. Torrey Krug still has 4 more years left to go on his deal. Jordan Kyrou's contract did expire this past season, but he has signed an 8-year, $8.125 million extension. So he'll be with the Blues organization for many years to come. Nick Leddy has 3 more years left to go on his contract. Josh Levo, I believe, is still a free agent. Jake Neighbors has 2 more years left to go on his deal. Colton Parayko has 7 more years left to go on his contract. Tyler Pitlick, I believe, has been signed by the New York Rangers. Cale Rosen has 1 more left to go on his deal. Brandon Saad has 3 more years left to go on his contract. Marco Scandella is coming into the last year of his contract. Braden Shen, the newly named captain of the St. Louis Blues, has 5 more years left to go on his deal. Robert Thomas's contract did expire this past season, but he did sign an extension. 8 years, 8.125 mil as well. And Alexei Torpachenko has re-signed on a 2-year contract. Jacob Vrana has 1 more year left to go on his deal. And last but not least, Nathan Walker's contract did expire, but he did re-sign 1 year at $775,000. So I'll go back to the team's logos and make my predictions for this upcoming year. Okay, make sure it's somewhat centered. Okay, so for the Blues, obviously last season was a lost cause. They had to trade away a few of their assets, including Tarasenko and their then captain Ryan O'Reilly. I think it's going to be tough for this upcoming year. I still think that the Central is going to be very strong. I have very high hopes when it comes to the Avalanche, the Stars, the Wild. I believe those 3 teams should be your top 3 in your Central Division if you're getting into the postseason. And then after that, you're looking at a potential wild card spot. I think Nashville has gotten a little bit better, and yeah, it's just going to be tough. If I had to make my prediction, which obviously I had no choice, but if my prediction is, I think the Blues are just going to be on the outskirts of the postseason when it comes to the 82nd game of the year. Again, not trying to disrespect the Blues. They have a very good team, very talented team, but just because last year was so inconsistent, and I'm not trying to say Binnington's overrated, but ever since he won the Cup back in 2019, his ego has just gone through the roof, and you see him lose it from time to time, more than once. It's almost like a guaranteed once a year. And if your star goaltender is losing it, threatening to like fight other players and just losing his cool all the time, that can't really sit well for the rest of the team. But again, that's just my opinion. What does it really matter? But yeah, I just think, like I said, there's just too much talent in that Central Division, and unless other teams happen to struggle and the Blues can bump them, I truly believe that there's going to be 2 straight seasons where there is no playoff hockey in the state of Missouri. As always, if you like hockey content or sports videos just in general, please feel free to hit that sub button. That'd be a huge help. And as always, take care.